Hey everyone, welcome back to Brick System Brothers. Nathan Masters here. Today for the third and final part of my Europe trip mini-series of videos. I just have a couple things I want to say about the Leicester Square Lego Flagship brand store. So a flagship brand store is a little bit different from a regular Lego store. They are larger, and there's this concept called retailtainment. So it combines a retail experience with an entertainment experience. Basically, Lego has put more floor area and more things to do inside some of their brand stores, and that's what makes them a flagship retail store. So the one in London that I stopped at in Leicester Square is a pretty nice store. I enjoyed looking around. I did get there kind of late in the day, so I didn't have quite as much time to take everything in, but probably the highlight for me was the brick-built model of the clock tower Big Ben in the store. Now, as a two-story space, the clock tower was able to take up much more vertical room. It's a huge Lego model, and it is pretty cool to see in person. I didn't end up buying a whole lot there, actually, just the 3 minifigure, the Build-a-minifig purchase. I didn't even buy anything from the pick and build wall. One of the reasons for that was everything that I bought on that trip I had to bring back on the plane, and in my case I just packed a backpack. So I didn't have any checked baggage. I didn't want to buy a lot of things that I would have to pay to bring back to the United States. Now I would have been fine with getting, the little pick and build that's not going to take up too much room in a backpack. But that store at that particular time, there wasn't necessarily a whole lot I was interested in on the wall. So I ended up just getting the 3 minifigures. And take a quick look at those. We have the new boxes. So a little bit of deliberation and scrounging to find these particular characters, but there was enough of interest for me to find 3 minifigs worth of parts to get. Yeah, kind of a hodgepodge. I'll go through the accessories first. The red apple, the printed light yellow butterfly, and the printed 1x2 tile cell phone. So the red apple, I don't know. This is definitely not the most cost-effective way to get these. I'm not for sure that they're available on Bricks and Pieces, but if they are, then that's where you want to get red apples in quantity. In this case, just really not a lot of accessories I was interested in, so adding that red apple in was one thing I ended up going with. The printed butterfly, kind of again, I don't have a ton of these parts yet, but there are some pretty good details on here. There's actually 3 colors of printing: the lavender, the black, and this might be olive green on there, a lighter green color. So 3 different colors of printing on a part is good detail and good piece to get. And then the cell phone, this particular one has the credit card on the screen with the Wi-Fi symbol. So don't have this cell phone yet. This is probably from a city set, if I had to guess. It's a little bit more of a generic design on this piece. And I like the teal color on the printing as well on this credit card. Minifigures themselves, this one, conglomerate of parts. What color is this? The dark red? Should be dark red. Hair color, the double-sided face, the shoulder pauldron from probably a collectible minifig series, the logo, Classic Space logo. This torso is actually interesting. It's got the regular blue arm on one side and azure on the other. Not sure if I like that. I might change out this arm. But dark azure jacket, hoodie kind of with the zipper, and then dark blue printed design for the legs. Pretty sure I already have one of these, but never hurts to get another generic leg print. This character, another, just collection of parts that I think are interesting. So this, I believe, is the Princess Leia hair element that is now somewhat wider available and generic and dark tan. Another double-sided print with some goggles. So it's very nice printed head piece to get there. The checkered torso, I liked well enough to get 2 of those here. So there's another one on the second minifig. And then the dual molded short legs. So the dual mold on these, something we saw introduced shortly after the short legs were introduced in a single color. And this particular dual mold with the yellow and teal. These could be like swim trunks for a kid or something like that. And number 3, equestrian helmet with the ponytail in the back, and this is nougat color hair, so good color combos, piece that I don't have yet. Another double printed face design with glasses and kind of a silvery mustache and beard on this fellow. A little bit of a bonus part here with the metal that goes over the torso, so technically could be considered an accessory, but putting it all together on the figure, maybe able to add that in as another piece. Again, that checkered torso that I mentioned. And for this one, on these legs, this is more of a Western print with the cowboy chaps, with great detailing on the toes and side of the legs. So multiple surface printing on the legs, something that we're starting to see more of, and one of those available in the Lego store at Leicester Square. So that's what I ended up with, and pretty happy with those selections. Again, the Build-a-minifigure since 2020, I believe, has started to incorporate pieces that aren't available in any sets or anywhere else. So they are exclusive to the Build-a-minifigure station, and it's not necessarily that they're always going to be exclusive, because at some point some of them might show up later in a Lego set, but often that is the first place you can get a hold of some of those parts, and many of them probably will remain exclusive. So if you are, kind of along that collecting path of exclusive minifig elements, that Build-a-minifig station is somewhere you want to start looking now. And the other thing I'll mention about this store is the screen printing process. They have these custom minifig torsos. This one did have quite a few options, and basically it's a way to get a little bit more of a unique minifigure without having to stock every single element in quantity somewhere in the store. So they're printed on demand. You as a customer, as a visitor, can pick out the specific design you want, and then basically they're creating those on the demand of the consumer. There's a couple that I think are interesting, but overall, from a tracking standpoint, like Rubricable has decided not to track these. As far as the resale value is going to go, there's maybe more of an open question about what some of these are going to be worth, and just the overall printing approach, only printing on one surface. Now that we have printing on arms, printing on the front and back of torsos, it's a lot easier to find higher quality torso designs. I don't know, it's going to vary person to person, and for myself, that's not really something that I want to collect at this time. So that'll pretty much do it for the Europe trip series. Again, the first one was kind of a cultural approach to Lego, and Lego being a Eurocentric toy, a brand basically. Just kind of unpacking what that looks like as someone who grew up in the US, how much of European culture is wrapped up in Lego inherently, and not necessarily an intentional thing by the designers, but just, designing from what was around them in their world, in their spaces, and bringing that into the Lego brand, pretty much since it has become a worldwide product. The second one was Lego in London, and that's really exploring the idea of a Lego cross-section, and then looking at how much the city of London itself is represented across different Lego themes and different Lego ideas. And a side note, I actually did find a mock-up of King's Cross Station in an old idea book. So if I do bring the footnotes back, that's something I want to explore, and another data point on that Lego in London concept. So this will be the third video, just a brief look at the Leicester Square flagship store, going with that, the idea of the retailtainment concept. So I wanted to highlight that because this store is considered a flagship store, and bring that into the discussion. And that'll get this series wrapped up for the channel. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time on Brick System Brothers.